just to open up your finances to someone else. I remember raised in a culture where that's very private. You know, it seems very counter-cultural and uncomfortable.
Well, and I was serious when I said that I would rather stand naked in front of y'all than go through our finances. I mean, it would have been easier and less painful.
When we first brought up MoneyWise, you were not excited. He was like, we really are going to need to pray about this. And I wasn't even sure if he was going to be on board about it. And then it's almost like when you got laid off and all that happened to us, it was like, all right. I don't know, it just really transformed you.
I think our biggest fear was that we knew we were going to have to change something after we went through it. And not knowing what that was.
I think I really feared it was going to change our relationships in a bad way. Like, now that we've talked about things that are extremely vulnerable, it's gonna change how I look at one of you or y'all, how y'all look at us or whatever, and it's just done totally the opposite.
The great thing for us is that it wasn't so stressful when we were going over it in the group, because we had, as a couple, worked together ahead of time, filled out the forms, and then we dropped it off at each other's houses.
It's funny too, because I think most everybody had it in an envelope, sealed envelope.
It was sealed in a vanilla envelope. All of us did.
It's like the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
I remember thinking about essential and non-essential, just how much we spent on gifts. You know, I'm just thinking the ancillary things that really add up, and so I guess there are going to be some people in our family get less gifts this year.
My background with a single mom put a lot of trust in what's in the bank, and that was security for me growing up.
I think we had always bought the lie that more money solves money problems, and we had money problems because it was just something we struggled with, and I realized I didn't trust him, and so that just caused we argued about money, and having the facts and going through it line by line and just being obedient to what God says about it took the arguing out of our marriage and took the arguing out of money.
Robin and I were going through it, and she just kind of looked at me and talked. She goes, you know, we kind of have an entitlement feeling where, you know, we give and we tithe and we give to many different things, but we think that's God's and then the other part's ours, and we're just entitled to spend it as we please.
Looking at how much we would save or how much we were spending on, let's say, food compared to someone else, it was convicting because we're like, wow, we spend a whole lot of money.
It'll be interesting when we look at it again to look at eating, you know, how much we eat at home now and how you take your lunch to work.
There's other people that now bring their lunch, and so we sit in the conference room, and probably out of the 3 to 4 days we take our lunch, I can talk about my faith on probably 2 of the 3 times a subject will come up that allows me then to open up, and that is just a byproduct of going through MoneyWise.
Finances has always been one of my big struggles, and I think it's talking about some of the things we've seen come out of it. I mean, you know, Sarah and I in a down income year have pretty much paid off all our credit card debt.
I mean, you look at what God has done in the last year since we've done that, and it's huge.
It's not just about the money.
No.
There's so many other issues that it helped deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for someone to be able to say to us, you just need to plan well, it was like, oh, we can do that. It's just going to take some time, but we can do that. And so it was just having the sets of eyes care enough about us to say, plan.
To be more intentional, not only how much we give, but to who we give. It was amazing how we just changed little things, and our budget was almost cut in half.
I don't think we disagreed about a specific item. I think we just fought about it.
We fought about anything in particular.
Well, and I think, too, it's because we were not putting our identity and our trust, like Bo was saying. He was putting his security in money. We were putting our security in our identity and what people thought about us by the things that we owned or had, as opposed to putting our identity in Christ. And it's really been how our minds and our viewpoints have changed watching our checkbook follow.
It's changed our mindset and transformed us to feel and to know that everything that we have is God's.
Well, we've done money studies how many times? And the difference this time and why our perspective has completely changed is the accountability of knowing this group and knowing we're going to touch back up. And that, for me, has been key, is the accountability.
The one piece that we had of isolation in our lives were our finances. And now we don't. And it's a freeing feeling.